The word discipline is misinterpreted, misrepresented a whole lot. We tend to associate it with compliance, we tend to associate it with obedience, and we tend to associate it with punishment. Three things I want to make sure we don't associate it with. Compliance, obedience, and punishment. Compliance is following rules, obedience is following authority, punishment is when you did something wrong and you're experiencing a negative consequence from it, okay? Discipline means something different. Discipline, first and foremost, is choices. To redefine discipline in yourself, in your people, anybody you care about. Help them understand and help get a system in place where you are teaching people how to make choices themselves. We don't want to create rule followers. We don't want to create authority followers, because at some point you are not going to be there to establish the rule and establish the authority. Whether that's the people you're leading or your kids. We need to build people who can make choices, and that will only happen when they have the discipline to choose for themselves. This is what discipline means. To be a disciplined person is to make your choices, own them, aimed at objectives, specific outcomes, up to a standard. That's what it is. It's not following a rule. Now, is sometimes the choice, the objective, and the standard in alignment with the rule? Yeah, absolutely. But sometimes is it have to push a rule aside for a second? Sometimes, is there not a rule that exists and we have to figure out where we're going to choose on that when there is no rule? Of course. This is what we actually have to equip people for. Because eventually, I mean, you think about this. If all we have are people who can follow rules, what does that require from you? More or less work? Way more, because you got to create the whole structure. When you equip people with this, we're going to equip them to make their choices. And so it's actually a pretty interesting notion when you take a step back and look at it. More often than not, the most disciplined business is going to win. The most disciplined team is going to win, okay? And so you balance these two out. Choices balanced against impulses, objectives balanced against comfort, and standards balanced against resistance. The discipline path is up here, the default path is down there. None of these things are bad. Impulses, comfort, resistance. They're not bad, they just don't work. And for those of you who have kids, what side of the line do you want your kids on? Don't even worry about these words. Don't worry about these words here. Put those words aside. Which one do you want your kids doing? Making their own choices with clear objectives to standards that they're setting for themselves with some help and guidance from you? Or do you want them operating from impulses based on comfort and resisting things to be better? Which one would you like them operating on? I mean, it's not even a choice. It's kind of silly when we look at it. It's like, yeah, no, I definitely want them up there. And it's not complex. It's really straightforward. It's just the hard work is doing that every single day.